What's up, Vetters? Patrick here with Vetted. Today we're talking about this.
Do you know what is going to be released? So supposedly this is the week of some kind of disclosure. Can you give us any insight as to what's going on?
Oddly enough, I got a call that tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I'm going to be briefed over the phone by, I think, one of Hegseth's top dogs.
Sources in the White House as well as congressional members tell me and George Knapp that the presidential UFO file release will begin tomorrow. All right, Vetters, please hit that like button. That really helps out the videos. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. All right, so I actually have some what could be considered actual bombshell news. I don't know. Let's see what you think. So apparently it's come out now that the UFO files are coming out tomorrow. All right, so I've got all the details. Let's jump into it. Tim Burchett also went on Joe Rogan's podcast and kind of hinted at something similar to this, but Jeremy Corbell put out a statement that him and George Knapp have gotten confirmation that the files are going to start dropping tomorrow. I've been there. I've tried every quick fix diet you can imagine. They'd work for a week or two, and then I'd just burn out on them really quick because they just don't fit real life. And that's exactly where fad diets fail. But not with Green Chef. They deliver real food and recipes that make healthy eating easy and lasting. One of my favorite moments is opening the box and realizing dinner is going to be ready in under 30 minutes and taste way better than takeout. With Green Chef, every week you get to decide from over 40 different recipes made with organic produce, responsibly sourced proteins, and nothing you can't pronounce. I've been loving their new longevity line built around brain and gut health. Meals come pre-portioned and ready in minutes. And you can even get free, unlimited one-on-one nutrition coaching to help keep you on track. Green Chef has completely changed the way I eat and how I feel every single day. I use Green Chef and you should too. Head to greenchef.com/50vetted and use code 50vetted to get 50% off your first month and then 20% off for 2 more months. That's code 50vetted at greenchef.com/50vetted. So first, let's take a look at this clip from Tim Burchett on Joe Rogan.
Do you know what is going to be released? So supposedly this is the week of some kind of disclosure. Can you give us any insight as to what's going on?
Oddly enough, I got a call that tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I'm going to be briefed over the phone by, I think, one of Hegseth's top dogs is going to go over some stuff with me that they've got, and I have no earthly idea. I don't want everybody to get their hopes up. I don't have a lot of faith in our government. President Trump's always been great to me. He's never lied to me, but I don't know that he knows the right questions to ask and the right people to talk to, because, I mean, this thing's been covered up at least since 1947, and I just don't think they don't give up that easy. The war pimps at the Pentagon and everybody else, they just don't give up that easy.
All right, so again, a couple funny things there. I mean, first of all, Tim Burchett just doesn't even seem that excited for what's coming, doesn't even trust the government, so that's hilarious, right? So not really excited, right? But what is this meeting? Is it about the UFO files that are coming out? Because again, Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp are saying, well, this is coming from Jeremy, but he's saying him and George were told, right? And Jeremy put out a statement on Twitter. Let me read it to you. All right, so I don't have my glasses, so bear with me here, but you know, we're going to do it old school. It says, just now, sources in the White House as well as congressional members tell me and George Knapp that the presidential UFO file release will begin tomorrow. We are told it will be slow and steady at first. Nothing shocking initially. Let's see where this goes. This is very encouraging that this administration is following through. More data means more leverage for those of us fighting for UAP transparency. Sleeping dog exists because our government chose silence over transparency. That might be changing. And then he put a link to his new documentary movie, sleepingdogmovie.com. So, all right. So it sounds like they're going to be doing this in chunks, right? And I just said this in my video yesterday, didn't I? When I played a clip of Kash Patel, the FBI director, talking about the trove of files coming, and it sounded just like that they're going to be releasing this stuff in stages. So called it.
The idea that there would be life on other planets that may be visited here that would not at all shock or surprise me. Have you ever looked into it?
We're looking at it. Here's the thing. Again,
okay, I want all the details.
Here's the thing. Every other president before President Trump could have said, hey, let's look at that and get the American people the information. What did he do? He stood up an interagency process with Department of War leading that effort to get out the documentation related to everything that you're talking about, not just from the FBI, from the IC and everywhere else. And so what do? We already delivered our first tranche of information to that committee, and they're going to be publicly releasing this information very soon. We are all for it. There's nothing in this subject that we're talking about that we don't want released. Our job at the FBI is to work with the White House and DOW, give them the information, and then they're going to put that out in a methodical process. And you're going to start seeing those releases literally happening in the very near future. We just met on it.
All right. So what's kind of interesting there, when I first heard about the clip, I thought, oh, is he just talking about FBI files? But no, sounds like he's talking about files from, he says the IC, right? The intelligence community. So it sounds like, they're kind of all working together to get the files out. And I did say the first trove of files. So it sounds like what's coming out on aliens.gov will come in sections, right? So we'll get a first dump of files, and then I guess later on we'll get more and more. I don't know how many troves, there are. Now, what's coming out? Jeremy's kind of saying it right there, right? Like, it's not going to be anything shocking initially. And Tim Burchett doesn't seem that excited either. And my question would be, if there was anything shocking in this files, that'd be the first thing you'd release, right? So, are you going to hold the shocking stuff for later? Doesn't make any sense, right? If you got shocking stuff, put it out, right? So, I don't know. Is it just a matter of they're putting out as they get things, as they're collecting data, they're putting it out? Which I can appreciate. They're not waiting till they get everything and then put it out. Or is it they have everything and they're just releasing it little by little, right? Think of it like a TV show that's recorded all of their episodes. They have them all recorded. They're just going to release them little by little, right? Every week. Or is it they're filming as they're going, right? I think that matters. But again, if they have all the information, they're releasing it slowly, and there's nothing shocking coming out initially, my guess is nothing shocking will be coming from this, period, if you ask me. So, look, there's been a lot of talk about these UFO files. They're finally starting to drop tomorrow. I've said this on the show already. I am excited. More data is more data, right? We can do with it what we want. Is it disclosure? It is disclosure in the sense that they're disclosing, right, information, right? Is it the big D disclosure that we want, that presidential speech that we're not alone and there's aliens on this planet? That's a horrible Trump impression. That's not what's happening, right?
We are not alone in the universe. We are not alone on this planet.
But we are getting some stuff tomorrow. What is it going to be? Just files in the sense of, letters, emails, case reports, I don't know, right? Photos, video, like what are we getting exactly? This is very interesting. I'm curious to see what this is. And if anything, we'll get to see what the website looks like, right? Aliens.gov, how they lay it out, right? It's going to be very interesting how they're categorizing, sectioning everything up. To me, that will be the bigger revelation. And then we'll just have to wait and see what information comes out from that, right? So let me know down in the comments what you think, what information is coming out, how excited you are about it, and kind of leads me to my next thing. Don't forget to use the link down below to Delphi. Okay, it's a prediction market where they're, those are hot things right now, where they're basically asking the question, will aliens formally introduce themselves in 2026, right? And right now it's sitting at 89% people saying no and 11% of people saying yes, right? I will admit that number is growing on the yes. do these UFO files help push it forward, right? That's what's going to happen? I don't know. And you know what's funny is I had a whole other video recorded for today, but that'll go out tomorrow. So it's already done. And then this news broke. I thought, okay, you know what? I better do a video on this, right? I think people are going to want to know and to expect it and to look for it. And clearly I'll have to make a video of what files come out. I may do a live stream instead. That might be easier to just kind of go through everything on a live stream. So anyway, do have a banger video that I recorded, a really, really good one about Eric Burleson, and a summoning event apparently happened behind the scenes and Congress members were briefed on it. I've got a whole thing on it. I did a lot of work. So anyway, I'll have to save that for the next one, but UFO files, they're finally coming. All right, betters, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.